بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والعاقبة للمتقين ولا عدوان إلا على الظالمين وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن نبينا محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. أما بعد أهلا وسهلا ومرحبا. Welcome my brothers in Islam to lesson 260 of Arabiyyah Bayna Yadayk book 1 part 1 of the new version. ما زلنا في الحوار الثالث. We're still at the third حوار. وقبل ذلك أعتذر before that I apologize. هناك أشغال في بيت الجار كما تسمعون. There are works going on at the house of the neighbor as you can hear. إذن in this حوار we have learned different education levels or stages. So we have مرحلة ابتدائية, we have مرحلة متوسطة, and we call it as well مرحلة إعدادية. These are one of the most important levels or stages. Inshallah, in the future, in the green book, inshallah, there will be a chapter where you have all these stages from nursery all the way to university. Inshallah, we will study them in the green book بإذن الله. إذن هنا صورة أخرى. Here is another picture, and I think it's not very clear maybe for you brothers to read. So here is another picture, my brothers. مدارس الشريف الخاصة. The private schools of Sharif. Sharifun means noble, but this may be a name of a person. Sharifun or Sharifu. نعم. طيب. الحمد لله. هذه مدرسة كبيرة كما ترون. As you lot can see, it's a big school. المبنى كبير. The building is big. وفيها وفي المدرسة or فيها in the school is رياض أطفال. In Saudi Arabia, they will just say روضة, nursery, instead of using the plural of روضة, what's رياض, literally gardens. أيضا ابتدائي, primary. Why do they mention the masculine form here and not ابتدائية as we have done? We have done ابتدائية because مرحلة is feminine as well. طيب. لكن والله أعلم ابتدائي and إعدادي, they're all masculine here because of the word, the hidden word مستوى. مستوى is also level. مستوى ابتدائي, مستوى إعدادي. So from that angle, you can use these words in the masculine form. إعدادي is secondary. And then we have an interesting word, very interesting word. That's the word ثانوي. ثانوي. Whether you're in Egypt, whether you're in Saudi Arabia, whether you're in North Africa, it's all ثانوي. There's one word for it. ما معنى ثانوي? In my case, I mean in the case of الحوار الثالث, I would say المرحلة الثانوية. What is the college level? And I'm using the English stages, curriculum stages. I'm not using the one of the States or the United States because they have other names. They have something called high school, etc. I'm using when I say thanawiyatun, then it's the third level, meaning primary level, and then the secondary level, what comes after the primary school, and then you have the college, and in the college you get ready for the university. So thanawiyatun هي المرحلة التي قبل الجامعة. It's the stage that you study before the university. Do I have to learn thanawiyatun? If you don't learn it now, you will learn it inshallah in the green book. You'll learn it inshallah in the green book. Definitely you will have to go through it. You will have to go to it. On one day inshallah, Allahumma barik, you will get a very crystal clear jadwal, very crystal clear jadwalun. Jadwalun is a table. It's amazing. Afwan for the, I did some notes here. It's very clear. Hadanatun, and then rawdatun. Hadanatun is just before the nursery. Okay, so you can say maybe a playground. Rawdatun, nursery. Tamhidiyun. Tamhidiyun is what they call in the UK. Tamhidiyun. I forgot the name reception, I think. Naam. Ibtidaiyun, primary level. Mutawassitun, secondary. Thanawiyun is college. And after thanawiyun, because they even give this, the years. So when you're 16 to 18 years, you're in the thanawiyun. Mutawassitun, between 13 and 15. Ibtidaiyun, between 6 and 12 years old. Now after thanawiyun, you have two ways to go to. You can go either one of the two ways, because then you're about 19 years old. You either go to the Jami'atun university, or you go to the Ma'hadun, what is actually a private institution, what is equivalent to the university. A Ma'had. It's like an institution. It can be private, it's not always private, but it's the same degree as university. طيب. So, my brothers in Islam, this is something you will study. They call it مراحل التعليم. It's also the topic of the Green Book. مراحل التعليم, the stages of education. طيب. وكلا المدرستين في الصورتين, and both of the schools that are in the two pictures في مصر are in Egypt. وكلا المدرستين, and both of the schools في الصورتين, in the two pictures في مصر are in Egypt. ولا شك, and there is no doubt, أن لكلمة الابتدائية علاقة بالفعل بدأ. There is no doubt that the word ابتدائية or الابتدائية has a relationship or a relation with the verb بدأ, he started. It's actually the first school. ابتدائية comes from the word بدأ, he started. بدأ يبدأ, he began, he started. So you see, in the Arabic language, subhanAllah, there is a link between the word and the verb, the noun and the verb. And the masdar of bada is bidayatun. Now we're coming very close to ibtidaiyatun, because bidayatun is beginning. متى بداية العطلة? When is the beginning of the holiday? طيب. إذن وفي أي مرحلة تدرسين أنت, and in which stage or level do you female teach? وأنت للتوكيد is for emphasis, ويمكن حذفه. You can drop it, you can delete it. قالت مريم أدرس في المرحلة المتوسطة. I teach in the secondary level. طيب ما هو الأصل? What is the root form of المتوسطة? As you can see, المتوسطة نعت والنعت يتبع المنعوت. The نعت follows the منعوت. What's المرحلة? So it's an adjective. So the root form is this. متوسطة. Because when you say root form, you also have to drop the L. الأصل متوسطة. Secondary. طيب. وهي مأخوذة and it's taken من كلمة وسط. It's taken, the word متوسطة is taken from the word وسط, because when you look to متوسطة you will definitely find these three letters, the واو, the sin and the ta. And what means وسط? وسط means middle. التي تعني, that means middle. وسط. Okay. أنا أجلس في وسط القسم. I'm sitting in the middle of the classroom. or في وسط الفصل or في وسط الصف. Okay. نحن الآن في وسط السنة الدراسية. I'm now in the middle of the educational year or the academic year. جلست في وسط الحافلة. I sat in the middle of the bus. Not in the front, not in the back. إذن وسط, middle. وهي مضافة غالبا. It's mostly, when you use the word وسط, it's mostly used as a مضاف noun. لحظة من فضلكم, one moment please. نعم, so وسط is mostly used in a مضاف situation. غالبا تستخدم في حالة الإضافة. إذن sometimes you can say أين الوسط? Where is the middle? Now it's not مضاف مضاف إليه, but normally yes, we use it in a مضاف مضاف situation normally. مثلا فتقول, so you say الأريكة في وسط البيت. The sofa, the couch is in the middle of the house. You see, وسط is مضاف, اسم مجرور and مضاف at the same time. Okay, and البيت is مضاف إليه, so it's linked to another word. حضرت, I attended. وسط الدرس, in the middle of the class, in the middle of the lesson I attended. I didn't come early, I came in the middle of the class. هيا نجلس في وسط الحديقة. هيا نجلس, let's sit في وسط الحديقة, in the middle of the garden, in the middle of the park. You see, it's always يعني it's مضاف, so it loses its tanween, and the word after it's called مضاف إليه, and it has a kasra. لا تأكل, لا تأكل, don't eat. It's لا الناهية, prohibiting لا. So you get the sukun in the present tense verb. لا تأكل من وسط الصحن. Don't eat from the middle of the plate. Okay, وسط is مضاف. الصحن مضاف إليه. الحمد لله. هنا خطأ. It's أين يقع. وسط is مذكر. والله أعلم. أين يقع وسط المدينة? I'm a bit confused about this. Is the تقع falling into follows المدينة or the وسط? الله أعلم. I think maybe it's good like this. أين تقع وسط المدينة? Where is the city center, literally the middle of the city, located? إلى آخره, etc. فائدة, a benefit, inshallah. So, before, Some people might say, why is it that we call the secondary stage mutawassitatun? And when we looked at the stages, it's not actually in the middle, because primary, secondary, and then we have what you call in the UK college, and then university. So it's the second of the four. Allah knows best, but I think it used to be the middle stage, because the university in many places used to be for the elite, for the rich people. Okay? Even going to college was not an easy thing. Okay? Let alone the university. Okay? So when you look to the people, maybe even nowadays in many countries, the people stop, the youngsters, I'm talking about the youngsters, many of them, they stop after the college. They stop studying just before university. That's maybe even nowadays, maybe more in some countries than others. So when we look to that, then you will definitely see that mutawassitatun, secondary, is like a middle stage, just before the final stage, college, for many of us. إذن فائدة, a benefit inshallah. لا فرق بين, there is no difference between المرحلة المتوسطة, the secondary stage, المرحلة المتوسطة والمرحلة الإعدادية. I've mentioned this maybe twice. There's no difference between these two words, الإعدادية and المتوسطة. وكلتاهما, and both of them, تقعان, are situated بين مرحلتي, between the two stages of الابتدائية والثانوية. Now, I think this is all clear inshallah. طيب. هل لك أطفال? Do you have children? نعم لي أطفال. Yes, I have children. Some people might say that, you know, Allahumma barik, because the Arabic language is very rich. So can we also use the two other meanings of having, like هل عندك أطفال؟ نعم عندي أطفال. Or هل لديك أطفال؟ نعم لدي أطفال. Basically they all mean the same. Okay, but it's more common to use when we talk specifically about having children. You normally or mostly will use this form. هل لك أطفال? If the addressed is a masculine, a male. هل لك أطفال؟ نعم لي أطفال. نعم. So what means li? Li has two meanings, you can say. Li is I have, and li is also mine. هذا li, this is mine. لمن هذا الكتاب? For who? Who is this book from? Of? This is mine. هذا li, this is mine. Sorry for my English. الحرف الأول من هذه الكلمة يسمى لام الجر. The first letter of these two is called لام الجر. It's a preposition. لام of the preposition. وهو حرف جر. It's a preposition letter. وكما ترون, and as you lot can see, فإنها مفتوحة في الجملة السابقة. As you lot can see, it has a fatha in the previous sentence, and that is لك. ومكسورة في هذه الجملة, and it has a kasra in this sentence. What is لي? So what's the situation? والسبب, and the reason or the cause, أن لام الجر مفتوحة دائما, is that لام الجر, this preposition letter, it has always a fatha. إلا في حالتين, except for in two situations or cases. إذا جاءت قبل ضمير ياء المتكلم, when it comes before the pronoun of the speaking ya, what is like li, I have. لكم دينكم ولي دين. Li here is in the Surah Al-Kafirun is always is also a kasra below the lam, but that's because there is the damir, the attached pronoun, the damir muttasil, what is ya mutakallim. But with lakum, it's not the ya, so it has a fatha. Libnun, I have a son. والحالة الثانية in the second situation إذا دخلت على اسم ظاهر, if this لام الجر enters upon an apparent noun, here likewise it will have a kasra. So when it enters on other than a pronoun, so for example فتقول, so you say لخالد كتاب, Khalid has a book. You can say Khalid لديه كتاب, Khalid عنده كتاب, but this is one of the other ways. لخالد كتاب, Khalid has a book. وهو بمعنى, it has the same meaning as خالد له كتاب. Okay? And these are the three words that mean the same. لي, drop the waw, waw means and. So لي, عندي, لدي. These three, they all means I have. بمعنى واحد, they have one meaning. إذن هل لك أطفال? Do you feminine have children? نعم لي أطفال. And you can also say هل لك أولاد? نعم لي أولاد. So the question is, if this lam is a preposition, why is أطفال with the dhamma? And the reason for that is that the li has already done its effect in the pronoun. Okay, although pronouns are fixed, you cannot see the effect, but it doesn't go beyond the pronoun. What is the ya and what is the kaf in the sentence before, laki and li. طيب. And you can clearly see that it's a preposition because I just mentioned the sentence لخالد كتاب. Khalidin has two kasras because of the li. طيب. كم طفلا لك? How many children do you have? طفلا طفلا it literally means child. How many child do you have? And that's because بعد كم نستخدم اسما مفردا منصوبا. After كم we use a noun that is single form فتحة. كم طفلا. Okay. أنا في الدرس. ابقي هناك. ابقي هناك. اجلسي قليلا. بعد قليل. So طفلا نعم. طفل is a child. And here is a benefit inshallah. That's مرحلة الطفولة. ما معنى مرحلة الطفولة? This is called childhood. It's also nice to know. مرحلة الطفولة. كيف مرت مرحلة طفولتك? How did your childhood went? Did it go fine? You can also say سن الطفولة is also childhood. كيف كانت طفولتك? How was your childhood? How was your childhood? And what is the childhood? وهي الزمن ما بين الميلاد, and it's the time frame between الميلاد, what is the birth, very important. You find, for example, a form that you have to fill in تاريخ الميلاد, date of birth, مكان الميلاد, place of birth. إذن ما بين الميلاد, between the birth, إلى البلوغ, until adulthood. لي 5 أطفال. لي 5 أطفال. I have جيسي هناك. I have 5 children. لي 5 أطفال. 5 أطفال. ويمكنك أن تفصل so what means 5 أطفال? I have is 5 children. 5 is feminine because the noun after is masculine. And that's the word أطفال. You always go back to the single form, that's طفل. So you need the opposite gender always between the numbers 3 and 10. لي 5 أطفال. I have 5 children. ويمكنك أن تفصل. You can go into detail. So you say to somebody, I have 5 children, and then you start going into detail. تفصل. تفصل. You go into detail. فتقول, so you say, لي 5 أطفال. 2 sons, ابنان, and 3 daughters. وثلاث بنات. You see the number 3 is masculine because بنات is feminine. وثلاث بنات. ابقي هناك. طيب. This is my daughter Sarah. Say Allahumma barik, brothers. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless your children as well. طيب. نعم. وثلاث بنات and 3 daughters. طيب. هل تحبين عملك? Do you love your work? Do you like your work? عملك مفعول به مضاف الأصل عملك. Why is it عملك? Why is it the fatha on the lam? Okay, because تحبين is a verb. فعل مضارع, present tense verb. And we have the what question. Do you like what? It's عمل. It's normally عمل. So actually it should be عملا. But because the عمل is مضاف, you drop one of the 2 fatha. And the key is مضاف إليه. الضمير المتصل, the attached pronoun is مضاف إليه. هل تحبين عملك? والجملة للمذكر, and the sentence for the masculine form will be or is هل تحب عملك? Do you like or love your work? هل تحب? هل is called حرف استفهام. It's a questioning letter. تحب فعل مضارع, present tense verb. أنت, what's ضمير مستتر is فاعل, is the subject. وعمل is مفعول به مضاف, and the كاف is مضاف إليه. طيب. نعم. أحب عملي. Yes, I love or I like my work. Just imagine somebody saying, no, I don't like my job. I don't like my work. مثلا كيف نقول هذا? How do we say this? لا أحب عملي. No, I don't love, I don't like my work. إذن وأنا أحب عملي أيضا, and I also love or like my work. الواجب المنزلي الصفحة التالية. الحمد لله. الصفحة التالية كاملة, completely. The next page. بما في ذلك المفردات. هنا. بما في ذلك المفردات والواجب المنزلي. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك، أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت، أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.